Get mad at me, man. They're going to get mad at me over this one, man. They're going to get mad over me, man. They say, man, Chris, man, you can't call each other because, man, you can't do that, man. But me do that, man. Me do that, man. Do that. All right, good evening, y'all. Hi, 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 hi. Hello, 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 hello. Um, People, I am going into I'm going into the depths on this one. Um, and I do I deem it necessary that I go into the depths on this one. People, listen to me. You listen to a person that is passionate about right. Okay, I'm passionate about right, and that is how I've been all my life. So, um, I'm the type of that I am so not interested in politics. Greg, what's going on, brother? I am so not interested in politics. I'm not. I'm not interested in politics at all. I'm not interested in politics a little bit. I'm just not interested from the perspective of politics means no matter right or wrong, this is how it's going to end up. When things become political, it becomes something that is done based on the basically how the masses of people are going to feel and think about it. This is why a lot of people um, uh, publicly. This is why a lot of people talk about things in the manner in which they talk about them. This is why a lot of people accept a lot of things because a lot of people, other people accept them. They accept things from the perspective of the masses of people. And when you accept things from the masses of people, you kind of go with the flow and you kind of really don't want no problems. And because you don't want no problems, people, I'm going to tell you tonight, which is the 10th of February. I'm going to tell you tonight, like I owe you to tell y'all, life will come knocking at your door. You cannot avoid it. It will come knocking at your door. Um, but I want to talk about something, and and because I imposed the question, and the question that I imposed, um, well, I'm making a statement. I'm telling you guys something. I'm not asking because this is my perspective, and um, I excuse me. I don't think I'm wrong. Excuse me. I don't think I'm wrong on this when I say it. And what I'm saying here tonight, um, what I'm saying here tonight is black people, we killed our worth when we start calling ourselves chisniggas. When we added chisniggas to our curriculum, we actually killed our worth. When we added chis and hoes, I mean, chis and niggas, to our curriculum, our self describing curriculum, we killed our worth. We did. People, um, KRS One just released a song called Black, Black, Black. Black, 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 Black. Four times. And he took stabs at what rappers talk about. And he said, even when the cops are not around, we still hear cap, 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 cap. These are the things that other rappers talking about. And he put up the gold and the cars and et cetera, et cetera. And when I listen to the song, I can't help it but to say, why do conscious rap and why is it that conscious rap is the only rap, they are the only rappers that are talking about issues within the black community from the inside out? Why? Why is conscious rap? Why aren't conscious rappers talking about racism? Why aren't conscious rappers talking about racism? Why aren't conscious rappers talking about the man ain't giving me a break? Why? Why aren't conscious rappers talking about that? Why, when you listen to conscious rappers, they talk about the problems within? People want to be clear about something. When you talk about the problems from within, you're going to come under a lot of criticism. I'm good for it, though. You can count me in on it. You know, when you talk about this, when you talk about black issues, you can't, you can say Black Lives Matter till the cows come home. I'm not trying to hear that. If you can't say what Ray Ray did to Miss Wilson is wrong, we need to start there. If your perspective on what's going on in the black community starts with a white cop shooting a black man, go suck a brick with your dumb, lame narrative. And trust me, you don't want to go toe to toe with me on the topic. Trust me, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So let me give you the resume of conscious rappers. We had Self-Destruction. We had the West Coast All Stars when conscious rappers is made. I'm gonna talk about two conscious songs, and I'm gonna talk about Public Enemy and KRS One. But they made, when Self-Destruction came out, they talked about the problems within. D Nice said it's time that we stand together in unity. If not, we'll soon to be self-destroyed, unemployed. D-Rat race will be lost without a trace. What we need to do is stop the violence and kick the science from the road that we call eternity. I can't remember the words, D Nice part, but I like what he said, because society want to invade, so do not fall for this trap that they made. It's self-destruction. When back in 1994, and I want to be clear about something. Public Enemy made their first album in 1986. 8 years later, Public Enemy made Yo Bum Rush the Show in 1986. Yo Bum Rush the Show had Rebel Without a Pause on it that came out in 1987. When Rebel Without a Pause came out, people, I lost my mind. I lost my mind. As a pro-black man, I lost my mind. When you hear me talking about issues in the black community, you hear me talking about our women playing a key role. I wasn't saying that until I read this book by Shahrazad Ali, a black woman. I wasn't saying that then. I wasn't. I wasn't saying that then. But when Self-Destruction came out, I lost my mind because I love black people. And I was on that black man nonsense too. Public Enemy, when it came out, they was on that black man nonsense too. Then Chuck D in 1994 spearheaded the rap group Public Enemy and said, it's not the white man doing it to us. He said this back in 1994. For those that don't know, according to your calendar and mine, that is 27 years ago. That's 27 years ago. Public Enemy came out in 1984 and made a rap album, Music and Our Message. And in that, what he was saying was, it ain't the white man doing it to us, people. We need to knock it off with the racism and in slavery days and blah, 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 blah. We need to knock it off with that. I'm here to tell you, we surrendered our worth as being trash when we start calling ourselves and niggas. We did. You see the thimble that I used. Now I'm going to talk about the rap group Public Enemy. You see the thimble that I used, yes? The thimble that I used was the verse from Is Your God a Dog by the rap group Public Enemy, made in 1998 on the album He Got Game, the He Got Game soundtrack. And in verse 3, it says this: we're all the gunning, crowd going crazy, getting bigger, proud to be called a bunch of bitches and niggas. We're proud to call ourselves bitches and niggas. People, we surrendered our worth when we start calling ourselves bitches and niggas. People, let me tell you something. Tell you something. When the United Nations, when the United Nations, when the United Nations used to have meet at the United Nations, when America and of course the other countries, you know why America never got no respect? America never got no respect because what they were saying to our president, I think it was Theodore Roosevelt, they were saying to Mr. Roosevelt, you cannot talk about anything. Look how you treat your blacks. And then what America did was they gave us rights in order to clean up the house. They gave us rights to clean up the house of America. All right. They cleaned up the house of America. They said, okay, United Nations, we're giving our blacks rights. You're right now. Can we come back to the table and talk? So if America said that we had to clean up our house in order to move forward as part of the United Nations, why can't blacks clean up our house before we move forward and saying and going to the table saying, white America, stop treating us like this? Why? What's the problem? What's the problem? We're all the we're all the gunning, crowd getting crazy, getting figure, proud to be called a bunch of niggas. People, you gotta listen to the song "Is Your God a Dog" by Public Enemy. He talks about the death of Tupac and Biggie Smalls in that song. And when I first heard the song "Is Your God a Dog," what Public Enemy is asking you is what you believe in and what you praise. A dog is what you believe in. Rather it be the almighty dollar, or do you believe in what you're doing? Do you believe in the crimes that you're committing? Do you believe in the talk that you're talking? Is your God a dog? Is your God a dog? I got my man Z7 up in here. I got Shay Money. He says I'm in here too. Greg Greg checked in on a check-in real quick. And then I got my man David B. David B says, good evening, Mr. Smith. Good evening to you, human. Good evening to you, my man. Appreciate you guys for being here. Honestly, man, you guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but you said, hey, man, that black ugly dude is at it again. He's at it again. He's back in Todd Smith Studios. He's at it again. Yeah, I'm at it again. People, uh, KRS-One, as I mentioned earlier, he made a song, Black, 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 Black. And he said, black is not a people, black is a mindset. I only wish you know, I only wish I had a young assistant because these young girls, they know all uh the new things, all these young kids. Oh, you want to play music on your YouTube page? All you got to do is, they know all that. I'm old, old people, we don't know this stuff. But I would love to, I guess I would put an ad in the paper. I got to do that and find an assistant that knows how, because I say a lot of things to y'all, and out of fear of copyright, I don't want to get a strike. But these young individuals like, oh no, YouTube has a tricky tickle here. You got to just request it, and they know all that stuff. So I want to just say that. Anyway, um, listen, I remember when I was uh, reading the Bible when I was a young lad. I was reading the Bible, and I remember I was reading the Bible, and uh, then of course I went into the military, and uh, "Why Is That" by KRS One came out. Now, of course, the song doesn't teach you the entire Bible, um, but when KRS One dropped "Why Is That," uh, he started rapping about verses of the Bible. The day begins with a grin and a prayer to excuse my sin. I can walk anywhere I choose because everybody listens to the BDP crew. We're not here for glamour or fashion. Here's the question I'm asking: why isn't young black kids taught black? They only taught how to read, write, and act. That's like teaching a dog to be a cat. You can't teach white kids to be black. Why is that? Is it because we're a minority? Will black kids follow me? Genesis chapter 11, verse 10. It explains the genealogy of Shem. Shem was a black man in Africa. If you repeat these facts, they can't laugh at you. Genesis 14, verse 13. Abraham steps on the scene. Being a descendant of Shem, which is a fact, means Abraham too was black. Abraham brought in the city of a black man called Nimrod, grandson of Pam. Pam had 4 sons. One was named Canaan. Here, let me do some explaining. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Yo, come on, man. Hold up, man. I get so excited when I listen. I just love black people. When you guys hear me when I talk, you hear me talk about a disappointment, and it starts with our women. Women are the builders of family. Let's talk about that for a second. Because my lady said to me today, why can't you just say something and not talk about women? So let me talk about women. People, do you know what a woman's pussy is? A woman's pussy is the incubation system. That's where our children are born. That's where black starts, planting our seeds inside the woman's womb. Something went wrong in the last 20 years, though, y'all. Something went wrong. Like when you want a good, there's different types of grass. My friend Calvin, my man Calvin, dude's a millionaire. He got the type of grass. He said, I can park a car on my lawn and then drive away. I can park a car on my lawn. He was like, it's such and such type of a lawn. He said, I didn't like it at first. When I first brought the house, he stripped that grass off his lawn and got a different type of lawn. And then he took me to his last year. He took me to his backyard and showed me that he said, when I stripped the front of the house, I changed the lawn. Who changes their lawn? He said, I changed the lawn. Not until I realized, because he said, I was just a brand new homeowner. And then he was like, now, he said, come in the backyard. He showed me the grass that he got in his backyard. The grass that he got in his backyard is like this thick. People, I took my garbage can and left it on my grass for 2 days. Came back, it was a bald spot. I moved it. I moved my garbage can. I put it up against the hedges, cause it was garbage day. I put it up against the hedges. 2 days later, I moved it where the garbage can was at. The grass died with a bald spot. This dude, his lawn, he can park a car and it won't sink down in, have four tire marks. I need y'all to follow me. Something happened in the last 20 years. The game of having children switched from family to get a nigga. This is why you hear me talk about women of color like I talk about women of color. From this book, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. Now, like I said, what you're not going to get me to do is say, black women, blah, 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 and then you start asking me questions, and then I start stuttering. I ain't got nothing on. I done fell off. No, this is why I am the way I am. Because once again, when a horse wins the Kentucky Derby, the Triple Crown, his sperm is worth a lot of money. He sells his sperm for about $150,000 and up per ounce. But we got our women building families on some dirty dick, taking some old retarded sperm. Let's talk about it. All right. I mean, that's all I'm gonna say about it. But so, with that being said, now what happens is our families are crooked. It starts with the woman, and women don't get this. Their uterus is where we plant our seed. Their uterus is where the black nation grows. But they don't understand that. It's a game nowadays. It's a joke nowadays. A nigga that just got out of jail ain't got nothing going for himself. You're gonna build a strong union on that. On you're gonna build the black union is now being built on a well you never know. But yet white women they building a white nation still off. They still got the same process going. If you really want me to talk about it, let's be clear. But we building babies on well, you got to give a nigga a chance. Like I said, Public Enemy said it best. We're all the gunnin. Crowd getting crazy, getting figure. Proud to be called a bunch of niggas. That's what our nation is being incubated in the womb based on some dirty dick. That's why I talk about women like I do. I want to be clear on that. You want to go deep with me? Let's go deep. All right. So that's KRS-One. And KRS-One, when he dropped Why Is That, I was like, yo. Now, when it comes to building our nation, here's the perspective of men. People, I'm a white and blue collar dude. I ain't never gonna hang with a booty out nigga. I despise them. I ain't never gonna hang with one. Men of my caliber don't hang. One thing men don't do, we don't cross classes of people. You ain't gonna have no dude, you ain't gonna have no booty out nigga talking about something. My man get off of work at 5 o'clock, man. Where he work at? Oh, he work in the bank, man. When he get off, man, me and him gonna go chill. That's not how men do. That's not how men do. That ain't how men do. That ain't how men do. That ain't how men do. You see the Wu-Tang, you see the Wu-Tang trilogy on YouTube. What happened when that God and Earth walked up to RZA? He said, "What's the day in mathematics, God?" That's how men do. And much as I don't like those dudes, they and I mean don't like them from the perspective of there's many dimensions of common sense. Okay, there's many dimensions of smart. Yours is one, and common sense on a higher level is another one. Analytical is another one. Don't come to me with that because I'm blowing you out of the water with some common sense. Nonetheless. So KRS-One, when he made my Why Is That, I came home from the military and I told my mom that I know some verses of the Bible, and she was shocked. She was like, wow. But that's what happens with positive rap. But we appreciate those thumbs up, y'all. We destroyed our worth when we start calling ourselves and niggas. People, I'm going to tell you something. I just said conscious rap always talk about issues in the black community from the inside out. Every other facet, when you listen to people, talk to people, they talk about white people being racist, white people this. Donald Trump is racist, you got a broken home. If you're going to sit there and say Donald Trump is racist, your home should be ready to produce. You should not be talking about Donald Trump was racist. You shouldn't have been, talking about Donald Trump was racist and you're delinquent in what you're doing. If you're delinquent in what you're doing, you need to get yourself together. The black community, we need to get ourselves together. We need to get ourselves together. We quick to judge everything else from white on black. We quick to judge everything else from white on black. We quick to judge everything else white on black. We ain't looking at what's going on in our own home. Once again, the United Nations had a problem with the US because how they was treating blacks. Blacks so America said we got to clean up our house before we go back to the United Nations to sit down, start talking about things. And then what happened was when they went back to the cable and said, we're working on our issues with black people. We're working on our house. Black people in the black community, in the community you guys call black, we need to work on our community. We need to work on our house. Excuse me. This is why we'll never be taken seriously. If, if, if you was a person and you had bad credit, do you think somebody will give you a loan of any amount with bad credit? No, they won't. You can say, yeah, you'll get one with high interest. Okay, run that. Then the person with good credit, they're going to get the loan under different terms. So I'll give you that. You'll get a loan, but you'll get it under some jacked up terms. So the treat oh, and that's just making my point. So the treatment of us blacks, how could we be treating each other? How could we have terrible association credit? How could we have terrible love for self credit and then run to the white America and want America to give us credit? How is that possible? How is that possible? How is that possible? Let me help you out. It's not possible. They got me. They got references to too much stuff. They got references to too much stuff. Too much. We're the gunning, crowd getting crazy, getting bigger, proud to be called a bunch of niggas. We just killed our worth when describing ourselves as chiz and niggas. We killed our worth. If you don't think so, I'm not here to beat nothing in your head. I'm just here to tell you, we killed our worth when we did that. That's what we did. We killed our worth. Our women say, I'm a bad bitch. You got yo, a nigga like me. Yeah, you a nigga. You said it yourself, you nigga. You'll mess around. You mess around and call John Jingles up back up in here. That's what you'll mess around. I'm gonna have a Klan member come in here and call you bunch of niggers. I'll do anything to get my point across. I want to be clear on that. Nothing stops me from getting my point across. Understand that. Understand that, people. Understand that. Uh, uh, uh. What's going on, Deshaun? Appreciate you for stopping in at the last minute. I'm about to put a bow on this thing, but uh, do appreciate you for being here, people. Uh, let me end it with this. I'm gonna end it with a verse from the great Chuck D. The song "Rebel Without a Pause." Appreciate those thumbs up, y'all. The song "Rebel Without a Pause" came up on the radar of white people when Chuck said, "Hard." That's my calling card, recorded and ordered. I'm a supporter of Chesimar. A lot of people don't know who Joanne Chesimar is. But when by that one verse, when Public Enemy said that, he came up on the radar. He said, Chuck said, I voice my opinion with volume. I voice my opinion with volume. And in saying that, you know you come under a lot of fire when you voice your opinion with volume. But in the community you guys call black, it's not the opinions that you would think come under fire. It's the opinions of righteousness that comes under fire in the community you call black. People, I came here tonight on the 10th of February 2021 simply to tell y'all this. We simply destroyed our worth by calling ourselves bitches and niggas when we describe ourselves. I'll see y'all tomorrow.